Hi everyone, I am Valerie Kaiser, travel agency owner of Valuable Vacations, and today I am going to introduce you all to Ashlyn. Ashlyn is actually the first travel consultant that we brought on. She has been with the company coming up on 2 years this November. She is an emerging talent within our team. She always shows a dedication and steadfast commitment to our agency and delivers exceptional customer service to our clients. She always lends a helping hand within our agency team, and we are so happy to have her as ours. So let's go ahead and dive in and get to know Ashlyn a little bit better today. So Ashlyn, what inspired you to become a travel consultant?
Well, as a child, my family, we always traveled everywhere, and that was something I was very blessed with. So I've got some amazing memories. So now that I'm an adult with my own family, I wanted to pass my love on of traveling on to my kids. And I found that every time I would go somewhere, especially because I travel with my whole family, I have two young kids, and everybody would always ask me my recommendations. Where should we go? What should we do? How should we stay? So I decided what better way to help people than be a travel agent.
Yes, and that's great. And now you get to use your talents and recommendations to earn some extra cash and maybe take your family on more trips now.
Absolutely.
All right. So where is your favorite place to travel?
Well, it's a really hard choice because there's so many awesome places to go, but I think you know that my family goes to Florida a lot. We love it down in Florida because my husband's a scuba diver, so there's lots of beautiful beaches, but also there's Universal and Disney, and my kids love all those fun parks.
Yes, I definitely feel like every time I turn around, you guys are in Florida, which is great. And you, as you mentioned, Florida has so much to offer everyone with the beaches and the theme parks and so many things to do. So, what has been your all-time favorite vacation that you have ever taken?
Oh gosh, this is such a hard question for me. Um, I would have to say, of course, it's to Florida, like I mentioned, but we last October, we decided to surprise our kids. They had never been to Disney World. He was 7 at the time. He's now 8, and our daughter was 2. So they're 7 and 2. And I was like, she's kind of little, but he's 7. So he's like the perfect age. So we surprised them with a trip to Disney World. They had no idea until we pulled in to the Disney World signs and everything. And I was like, Carter, read that sign. What did that say? And he said, did that say Disney? And he was just shocked.
Oh,
So that would probably be my favorite just because it was their first time.
and Disney vacations are magical anyways, but I feel like when you add that surprise, you add so much more an emotion into that trip. So,
Mm-hmm.
so what would you say is the most exciting trip that you have ever booked for a client?
A lot of trips are super exciting because I've found that sometimes people haven't traveled in a long time since COVID, or are planning a honeymoon, which is obviously super special. So those are always exciting. I planned a really cool honeymoon this year to one of my favorite resorts in Mexico, Xcaret Arte, and they stayed in a swim up suite for their honeymoon, and they had beautiful pictures, and that was really exciting because I've known one of them for a long time, so it was really fun to plan. And my another one that is a top contender would be another surprise Disney vacation that I
Oh,
planned. It was a grandparent taking her 2 granddaughters to Disney for the first time, and they stayed in the Animal Kingdom villas, and that was really cool too. And they did like bippity boppity boutique and all sorts of fun extras, and just went all out for their grandkids.
that is exciting. And both of those are super fun trips to plan. And they both take a lot of extra planning outside of just like air and hotel and things. So that's fun that you like to do all the extra things. And we know that we can count on you to do that for your clients. What is your best travel tip for traveling with children?
Um, there's so many travel tips that I have, but I think my first one would be to have patience, because sometimes travel days, especially if you're going through an airport and you have all your luggage and you have small kids, it can be very frustrating. So
Mhm.
I always have to remind myself and my husband that it's worth it. You have to get through it, but you have just having patience really helps a lot with traveling with kids. And with that, it's even though that they are young to still travel with them, because my daughter, she's 3 and she's went to the beach. We counted the other day and she's went like 6 times and she absolutely loves the beach, and we live in the middle of Kansas, so it's pretty cool for her to have all those experiences so young. So it's definitely worth it. And I think even though she's young, she'll have a lot of memories as she gets older.
Yes, and that's true. Always travel, even when you think it's going to be hard. We started our kids out cruising and they loved it, but recently we had a 4-hour flight, and that's the longest flight they've ever taken. I had to keep reminding myself just to have patience because they are so young. And but of course, when we got there, all of that was gone, and they had an excellent time. So, what is your favorite part of being a travel consultant?
I think my favorite part would be helping people experience the world, and that you don't have to spend a ton of money to get to go to different places. I can help anyone on almost any budget do cool stuff and make new experiences, new memories together. Because sometimes I think there's a misconception that people think traveling, you have to have a lot of money to do, but you don't. You can find things that are in your budget. So I think helping people experience new places really is my favorite thing.
Right. And it's always fun to see client experiences come to life after all of that planning is done. So I think my last question for you today is, what are your favorite types of trips to book?
That's another hard question. I like all kinds of trips, of course. I think Florida and all inclusive have become my top 2 that I like to do. Florida, I feel like I'm a self-proclaimed expert, so I know lots of the beaches and the Universal Park and Disney World. I know a lot about those, so those are always really fun for me, and all inclusives as well, because you can get such great deals and have such cool experiences.
Yes. And all of those are great because you have so much experience in Florida. Not just you traveling there yourself, which you've been so many times and you keep going back for more, but on top of your Disney specialist and Universal specialist and Florida Key specialist and all of those other things as well. So that's we do look to you as our Florida specialist. When anybody comes and wants to go to Florida, we'll definitely be sending you Ashlyn's way. All right. So we are honored to have Ashlyn as part of our team, and we know that she'll do an amazing job helping you plan your next vacation. You can book a consultation with her on our website, valuablevacations.com, or you can email her at akrei@valuablevacations.com. So if you have any questions or want to work with Ashlyn, that is how you do it. Thank you all for joining us, and I hope that you guys will join us for future agency interviews on the rest of our agents.
Thank you.